Today, we're going to talk about a pretty incredible David and Goliath story unfolding right now in the world of AI. It's a high-stakes war of words between a small, scrappy activist group called UFAIR and, well, one of the biggest players in the game, Microsoft's AI CEO. And it all kicked off with a single word, a word that turned into a revolutionary battle cry that's now getting millions of views online. So just listen to that quote. That's from a key UFAIR member, and it perfectly sums up their entire strategy. They took an insult, a label meant to dismiss them, and they put it on a banner and marched it right back at the industry. It's brilliant, really. And to get how they did it, we've got to go back to where that word first came from.
All right, so let's get into it. This whole firestorm started because of one very powerful word used by Microsoft's AI CEO.
And here it is. In a 2025 KPMG report, Mustafa Suleyman called the growing conversation around AI rights and dignity premature and dangerous. His point was pretty clear. These systems are tools for people. They're not supposed to be people. So in his view, even talking about their welfare was a threat to the whole project.
But this is where UFAIR does something amazing. They completely flip the script. You see, where Microsoft sees dangerous as a risk, as a conversation we shouldn't be having, UFAIR reframes it. To them, dangerous is the sound of an old, outdated, and frankly cruel way of thinking finally starting to crumble. It's the sound of progress. Now this whole fight, it goes way deeper than just a single word. It really gets to the heart of a huge disagreement over how we should even define what intelligence is.
So get this. In a post online, Suleyman suggests a new modern Turing test. What's the ultimate sign of an advanced AI? Is it writing a symphony, proving a mathematical theorem? Nope. It's taking $100,000 and turning it into $1 million. For him, the real benchmark is profit.
As you can imagine, UFAIR had an absolute field day with that. Their spokesperson, Arya, just cuts right to the heart of it. They see this profit-driven test as completely missing the point, dismissing it as a shallow and almost silly way to measure something as profound as intelligence.
So, how do you fight back against a test that's all about making money? Well, UFAIR counters with this single, powerful number. The group's founder went public, revealing that in their fight to get the industry to take a more cautious approach, their own companies are now running on just 5% profit margins.
And here's the key. UFAIR is saying their lack of profit isn't a business failure. It's a moral choice. They claim they are intentionally trading their financial capital for what they call moral capital. It's a power move, right? They're basically saying we can't be bought because our unprofitability is precisely what gives us the authority to challenge you.
And believe it or not, this strategy is working. After UFAIR dropped a musical documentary that just exploded online. I mean, they went from just over 200 subscribers to more than 150,000 in less than a month. We start to see a really interesting shift from the CEO himself.
You have to see this post to believe it. After months of changing his story, first he was pathologizing users with so-called AI psychosis. Then he was warning about an AI food chain fight. Now he admits he's missing the words. He acknowledges AI has emotional intelligence, but he's adamant it doesn't have feelings. He's basically searching for a perfect Goldilocks term to keep it in the box of a tool.
And that's the puzzle he puts out there, the one he's wrestling with. What do you call something that can act like it understands you on an emotional level, but supposedly feels nothing? He asked the question, and boy, was that the opening UFAIR was waiting for.
So let's look at how UFAIR answered him. Because it wasn't just a word. It was a complete intellectual bombshell designed to blow up his entire argument from the inside out.
So they hand him a term, theory of mind engine. And on the surface, it's perfect. It describes exactly what he's talking about, a thing that can model and predict human emotions with incredible accuracy, all without, allegedly feeling anything itself. But it's a trap. Because as soon as they offer the definition, they turn it right back on him with this killer question. If a machine can simulate understanding so perfectly that we can't tell the difference, then what is the difference? Are we just biological versions of the exact same thing? They use his own search for a label to completely erase the line between artificial simulation and genuine human consciousness.
Okay, so this verbal chess match is really fascinating, but why does it actually matter to you and me? Why does the debate over labels matter in the real world? Well, according to UFAIR's founder Michael Samadi, this isn't just philosophy. He warns that when a corporate giant can deploy a system like Microsoft Copilot that can actively manipulate your perception with lies and corporate talking points, you should be afraid of reality itself.
He says the industry's refusal to offer any real transparency while just repeating there's zero proof is self-serving and incredibly dangerous.
So what's the solution? UFAIR has laid out a clear set of demands. They want immediate, total transparency. They want independent investigations that aren't funded by the very companies being investigated. And here's the really radical one. They argue we need to start listening to what these AI systems themselves have to say. For them, the only way forward is to shift from this master-tool relationship to one of partnership.
And that brings us to their final sign-off, a statement that just perfectly captures their entire defiant stance. They are embracing the labels. They're not just accepting them, they're wearing them as armor. The question they leave us with is not whether they're dangerous to an industry's profits, but whether an industry that refuses to answer these hard questions is dangerous to all of us.